the plum tree bends above the stone. She moved like something past my understanding, and I wanted to ask her name and leave her alone.
But the Lord had assigned me to her quarters to watch the household through the winter months.
And every night she passed me in the corridor
with eyes that held a century at once. The samurai they sent to guard the household was not what samurai are meant to be.
His hands were trained to follow orders,
but his eyes had too much conscience,
I could see. He watched me with the kind of careful watching that doesn't want the thing it's keeping track of.
And I watched him watch me watching,
and we both pretended that we hadn't done that. There is a blade between us,
sharp on every side.
There is a blade between us,
and it has no safe place to hide.
If I take a step toward him, I risk the thing I built.
If he takes a step toward me,
he carries all the guilt.
There is a blade between us,
the line between your honor and my freedom.
There is a blade between us,
the space between your loyalty and what you've seen.
I want you on my side of this,
I want you past the line, but the blade between us carries both your life and mine. We met one night beside the water barrel,
when the guard change left a window in the dark.
He took my hand before I could withdraw it,
and something crossed the space between our hearts.
I told him what I'd been doing in the darkness.
He told me what the Lord had asked of him,
and in that hour we held each other's secrets,
like two people holding something broken and reborn.
I cannot break the oath that made me and follow you into the fire.
I cannot stop the thing I've started and lay it down for your desire.
But here, between the silk and iron,
Between the oath and open sky,
we will hold this moment before the blade falls. One more There is a blade between us,
the line between your honor
and my freedom. There is a blade between us,
the space between your loyalty
and what you see. I want you on my side of this,
I want you past the line,
but the blade between us
carries both your life
and mine.
drunk on comfort. The guards were at the post, we'd learned to map. And in the garden where the blossoms scattered, we lit the signal and there was no going back. This is the night the cherry blossoms burn. Not because I wanted fire, but because the tree that stands above the ash will grow the stronger for the hurt.
Cherry blossoms burn.
Beauty doesn't make it safe to live in.
Cherry blossoms burn.
Grace has never been protection from the killing, but in the burning, in the light, the ones who gathered in the dark can finally see.
Cherry blossoms burn.
And from the ash we will be free. The kitchen girl went east and held the gate. The stable hand went north and cut the line. The archer held the roof above the courtyard, and I walked to the center of the shrine. I faced the Lord for the first time as myself, not servant, not performer, not a role. A woman with the blade and 7 years of patience, who had come to take back everything he stole. He looked at me as if he had forgotten that something in this house could have a face that was not his to manage or position, that was not his to erase.
Cherry blossoms burn.
Beauty doesn't make it safe to live in.
Cherry blossoms burn.
Grace has never been protection from the killing, but in the burning, in the light, the ones who gathered in the dark can finally see.
Cherry blossoms burn.
And from the ash we will be free. I didn't need the blade, and that surprised me. The power wasn't in the edge of steel. The power was the room full of the people he had spent his whole life trying not to feel. The farmer, the widow, the guard with the conscience, all standing there as witnesses and more. And the Lord looked at his power and found it smaller than what was standing at his door. We are the ones who held our breath for 7 years. We are the ones who passed the message in the dark. We carried every name and never let one depart. The blossoms fall because the tree is living. The fire lights because the dark was wrong. What we build upon the ash of this night is what we stood for all along.
Cherry blossoms burn.
Beauty doesn't make it safe to live in.
Cherry blossoms burn.
Grace has me that a woman's greatest virtue is the silence she can hold across her years. They said the ones who speak are always punished, and those who stay quiet are spared the cost of tears. I watched my mother hold that silence perfectly. I watched it eat her from the inside out. I watched her disappear inside the stillness until there wasn't anything left to doubt. But I have held the names of too many women who swallowed everything and still were not enough. The silence didn't save them, it erased them. I will not disappear, I will not shut up. I will not bow to silence. I will not fold myself into the shape they made. I will not bow to silence. I will not wear the quiet like a blade. I have been practicing this voice for 20 years. I have been sharpening this word for half my life. I will not bow to silence. I will be the crack in the wall. I will be the thing they couldn't silence after all. The women in the kitchen told me quietly about the daughter sold to clear a debt. The women in the field said nothing openly, but eyes don't lie, the ones who will never forget. And I'm the one who learned to hold a blade in the hour before they fought to check on me. I spent the daylight hours smiling while the dark hours built what they couldn't see. And now the thing I built is bigger than my body, lives in every hand that helped me lay the stone. It lives in every woman who stopped being careful, and every man who found he wasn't quite alone. I will not bow to silence. I will not fold myself into the shape they made. I will not bow to silence. I will not wear the quiet like a blade. I have been practicing this voice for 20 years. I have been sharpening this word for half my life. I will not bow to silence. I will be the crack in the wall. I will be the thing they couldn't silence after all. They'll come for me with everything they own, the guards, the gates, the weight of all the law. But law was made by those who sat above us and can be unmade by those who saw the flaw. I am not angry, I am simply certain that everything I'm building has a name, and the name is, this is what is owed to you. And the silence ends today. The silence ends. Not for vengeance, for the record, not for anger, for the truth, not for myself alone, for every woman who was told that silence was the proof of virtue, of worth, of safety. Those were lies, every single one was lies. I in white silk before the morning, and painted silence on my open face. They said a woman's power lives in stillness, in the careful art of knowing your own place. But underneath the white they couldn't see it. The thing they trained me to pretend wasn't there. A blade as thin as thought and twice as certain, that I had learned to carry everywhere. I am the water that wears down the mountain. I am the stillness before the storm breaks free. I am the lesson that the Lord forgot to study when He decided what a woman's life could be. I am silk and iron, soft as morning rain on temple stone. I am silk and iron, beautiful and dangerous and alone. Every step I take in silk is calculated. Every bow I make is practice for the blade. I am silk and iron. I am the fire they thought the silk had tamed. The master of the house sees only function, a vessel for his comfort and his will. He watches me perform the tea ceremony, and never notices I've never been still. I count his scars, I time the changing watches, I memorize the layout of the grounds. I smile and pour his tea with both hands steady, while my mind makes maps of all his boundaries. I am the water that wears down the mountain. I am the stillness before the storm breaks free. I am the lesson that the Lord forgot to study when He decided what a woman's life could be. I am silk and iron, soft as morning rain on temple stone. I am silk and iron, beautiful and dangerous and alone. Every step I take in silk is calculated. Every bow I make is practice for the blade. I am silk and iron. I am the fire they thought the silk had tamed. My grandmother taught me in the hour before dawn, when the house was dark and everyone asleep. She pressed the blade between my hands and told me a woman's honor isn't hers to keep. It's hers to forge and hers to wield and carry. No man gives it and no man takes it back. She said the silk is your intelligence, not your prison, and the iron is the self they try to crack. And I have worn the silk so long they've forgotten that the silk was never me. I have worn the iron underneath so quiet that the moment comes I'll be everything they couldn't see. I am silk
was 12 years old when I learned my purpose. The blade, the bow, the oath, the Lord I'd serve. I didn't ask what he would ask me for it. I was taught that service needed no reserve. I watched him all these years and called it duty. I followed every order and stood tall. I told myself the ones who paid the price were simply what a peaceful country cost in all. But the night the cherry blossoms started burning, I stood between the order and the truth. And everything I'd built my life upon was asking me to choose. This is the heart of the samurai, the place they never train you for, where the blade won't tell you which direction and the code runs out of what it's for. This is the heart of the samurai, and it breaks like anyone's. When the thing you swore to serve and the thing you love are the same blade facing different suns. She told me what she'd been building in the darkness. I told her what my hands had done for him. I saw the way she didn't look away from me, and I understood the water finds its brim. I could have stopped it, I had the position. 3 words to the commander and it ends. But in the garden, with the blossoms burning, I stepped aside and let it begin. I didn't break my oath,
I went past it
to the place where oaths
are only words,
to the place where every code of honor returns to what it was before the Lord. This is the heart of the samurai, the place they never train you for, where the blade won't tell you which direction and the code runs out of what it's for. This is the heart of the samurai, and it breaks like anyone's. When the thing you swore to serve
and the thing you love are the same blade facing different suns.
I don't know what I am on the other side of this. The man who stepped aside and let it burn. The samurai who broke his oath for conscience, or simply a man who had something left to learn. I know what she was building was the truth. I know the Lord I served was what she said. I know the blade I carry still is steady,
And I know which way I'll point it now ahead.
my father said, the samurai does not feel. My father said, the samurai obeys. But my father never met a woman
something true and living.
And I would do it again. I would.
His walls with other people's silence. He filled his halls with what he took by force. He named himself protector of the province and burned the homes of those who lost the course. He collects us like the emperor collects paintings, objects of aesthetic and of use. And every time I set his table gleaming, I count the cost of what we stand to lose. There are names I hold inside me like a lantern. Farmer's daughter gone without a trace. The elder who spoke up at the spring harvest, who simply disappeared without a face. I am the Lord's servant. I carry what he asked without a word. I am the Lord's servant, invisible, obedient, unheard. But every name I carry in my body is a death that he has written on the the Lord's servant until the day I'm not, and he won't know I was there. He speaks of order as though he invented it. He speaks of loyalty as though it flows one way. He takes the village crops and calls it taxes. He takes the young men's lives and calls it pay. I pour a sake with a bow so perfect that not a tremor shows in either hand. But underneath the silk the iron is steady, and the iron understands. There are names I hold inside me like a lantern. The village priest who disappeared one spring, the mother who petitioned at the gatehouse, whose name I've never stopped remembering. The Lord's servant, I carry what he asks without a word. I am the Lord's servant, invisible, obedience unheard. But every name I carry in my body is a death that he has written on the air. I am the Lord's servant until the day I'm not, and he won't know I was there. On a pedestal, he thinks the walls he built will never fall. He thinks the people who surround him serve him. He doesn't know I've spoken to them all. The kitchen girl, the stable hand, the archer, the guard who lost his father to the Lord's road tax. We've been meeting in the hour before morning and quietly counting all the facts. One day the silk falls off. One day the iron speaks. One day the house he built on other silence will find it has no everything you thought you knew about the size of what a person can become. The province that was built on silence woke to something new, and for the first time no one had to pretend to be numb.
We sat together in the Lord's own courtyard, among the blossoms and the aftermath of fire.
And the question wasn't whether we had won, but whether we would build to something higher.
Because a revolution is a morning, not an ending.
It's the first day of the thing you've been becoming.
And the woman who stood up inside the silk is just the iron butterfly beginning. These are the wings of the iron butterfly.
Every scar, feather, every scar of flight.
These are the wings of the iron butterfly.
Born in silk and tempered in the night.
We did not break,
We did not bend and fall apart.
we held the weight and held the line,
and held our hearts.
These are the wings of the iron butterfly.
And she is learning.
She is rising, she is learning to fly.
The province sent its oldest names to hear the settlement. Each family brought its grievance and its witness.
We sat in council for 9 days, through winter and through rain, and built the rules we needed for the fitness.
Not perfect, nothing born of ashes perfect, but ours and carried forward in our hands. And the samurai who stepped aside one autumn became the first to sit within our plans.
Because a people is a morning, not an ending.
Not an ending. Each generation is the first day of the dream.
Of the dream. And the iron that outlasted every silencing
Becomes the spine of everything that gleams.
These are the wings of the iron butterfly.
Every scar, feather, every scar of flight.
These are the wings of the iron butterfly.
Born in silk and tempered in the night.
We did not break,
We did not bend and fall apart.
we held the weight and held the line,
and held our hearts.
These are the wings of the iron butterfly.
And she is learning.
She is rising, she is learning to fly.
I heard my grandmother inside the singing of the women who came after on the road. I felt my mother in the way I'm standing, upright in a space that once was hers to hold.
This is what I owe the dead.
Not grief,
But life,
not silence,
but the word,
not stillness,
but the wing.
the iron butterfly ascending, finally heard.
From the silk, iron emerges from the dark.
The morning breaks
From the silence, voices rising.
from the ash. The new world wakes.
I was never just the servant.
I was never just the role. I was the blade they couldn't see. I was whole.
I was the one who chose the scars. The angels' bones now crown the stars. The fallen sing, the fires moan. The light is gone, we stand alone.
The earth still trembles at our name. The heavens whisper out of shame. The cry of those the world disowned still echoes where the dark enthroned.
were torn apart. The wrath of heaven crossed the heart. The swords of flame, the shields of light clashed in endless sacred night.
Each star became a burning spear, each prayer a cry the gods could hear. The throne itself began to shake. The dawn was lost for heaven's sake.
Wings were black with flame. The songs of peace no longer same. The sky was blood, the ground was ash. The holy realm began to crash.
The fire's crown, the choirs of war, each angel's hymn became a scar. The throne of God, the sword, the lyre, all fell beneath the thrones in fire.
The heavens burned, the stars alive.
Sacred line.
Through war and pain, through wrath and tire, the world remained in thrones of fire. Thrones in fire, wings collide. Every law and fate denied. Through the darkness, through desire, the heavens burn in thrones of fire.
I saw the hosts in flames of red, the morning star above the dead, his crown of ash, his eyes of gold, the rebel born, the tale retold.
The light that burned now knows the pain of losing grace, of loss, of shame.
Yet still I fight, I can't expire, for I am forged in thrones of
Thrones in fire. Thrones in fire. Dawn undone. Every angel, every son. Through the ashes, through the cries, the thrones in fire will never die. In fire. Through the battle, through the fire, the heavens falling. Thrones in fire. Striking light, bringing sprout to flame the light. Through the battle, through the fire, the heavens falling. Thrones of fire. I walk through ruins made of light, where angels wept for endless night. The war was done, the heavens lost, and peace was born from fire's cost.
I forged a crown from what remained, from shattered wings and faith unchained. The serpent rose, the world was new. The fallen down their eyes of scorn. Yet from their hate my strength was born. The light above, the dark below, two worlds entwined in one true glow.
The crown you wear, the thorns of sin,
Still hide the light that burns within. The